What's going on, guys? This is Resurrected Mods, and as always, I am bringing you another Raid Shadow Legends video. And today we're going to be doing kind of a recap video on how to use the optimizer tool from Hell Hades, as well as how to use the RSL Helper tool. And I'm also going to teach you guys how I use both of these tools together and how they help me progress farther in the game. Not just showing you how to use one and then showing you how to use the other. I'm going to show you how I use both of them to my advantage at the same time, because sometimes um, one or the other just lacks certain things. So let's jump into the video, and I hope this teaches you guys a lot of things about these. I want to come in and tell you guys about the forge. So I completely forgot about this. I don't know why I forgot about this. So this is going to be kind of just snipped into the video randomly. I'm sorry if it doesn't make sense. But we're going to come into the forge and we're going to do perception just because I have 1,000 pieces. And I'm going to come in here and where it says auto forge, and I'm just going to do 10. So you have to do number of forges and auto forge. And if you want to sell the gear, go ahead and do auto sell. And then you can add any of these that you want to add in. Really, I just want to get some off of me so that way I don't have 1,000. So let's just do 20. And you hit start and it'll come in here. And let me move this. It'll actually sell the gear or keep the gear that you chose with your sell file. And it just keeps doing it until it runs out of the number of forges. And once it's done, you can go in to your gear and see what it kept and what it sold. So we got 8 more, 7 more. It does it pretty quick. So this is something that I use quite often because it will go ahead and filter through everything. I want to tell you guys, just keep in mind that when you do big changes on your account, for example, if you do a 10 pull, if you do this like 100 times in a row, right? Back to back to back to back to back. Sometimes it will take the helper tool a day or two to recognize all of that gear. So just keep that in mind. If you use the auto forge and it'll do one at a time, it works a lot better that way. And just so you guys know, my sell file, if you end up downloading it, keeps 5-star or greater legendary. Um, so because I like the option to be able to re-roll, right? So you come in here, you take it to 12 and see how it did that. That is not a good piece at all. So I'm going to go ahead and sell that. But had it triple rolled into something, I probably would have kept it or re-rolled it. So just keep in mind, it's going to keep some weird stuff. This, it kept it because it's a 6-star with speed and it's on perception. But anyway, that's how you use the auto forward button on the helper tool. And trust me, it is very, very helpful. All right, guys. So first off, let's just do a recap on the RSL helper. The last video that I did was quite a while ago, and honestly I don't think it had, I'll take that back. I know for sure that it did not have all of the features that it has now, and it's been upgraded quite a bit, and it's really awesome. It's really awesome. So where to start off first, we'll just start running down the list, showing you guys how to use it. And then later in the video, I will show you guys how to use the optimizer. And then right after that, I will show you guys how I use both of them together at the same time to progress my account. So first off, number of runs, that's fairly easy. When you go into the game and you click on, let's just go dragon, right? And you come in here and you do 10 and you hit start, it's only going to do 10 runs. Pretty simple, pretty clear. I don't know how that could be misinterpreted, but that's how you use that. Um, Multi-level XP can get a bit confusing, so let's go ahead and jump into that. And for the sake of the video, I'm just going to do normal campaign because I don't want to waste a whole bunch of energy. But let's go ahead and show you guys how we do it. So I'm just going to go ahead and put 30 in there for the sake of this. I'm going to end up wasting 8 energy, but that's okay. So right now, as you guys can see, it's still showing my arena team, right? So we don't want that. What we want is to show the current team that we have. Or if you really don't want to, and if you don't mind, you can do it as of right now. So let's just do it as of right now. So you're gonna come in here, and this is what's gonna happen when you click on set food, right? So you can use Vault Champ, you can use Reserve Vault Champ, you can use Flex and Guardian Champ. It doesn't matter which one you click, you just be aware. All it's going to do is level them up. It will not actually feed them, so you don't have to worry about losing a whole bunch of champions. Now, if there's certain champions that you did want to level, for example, fusion champions, you could click on that, and it would do only champions that are fusion, that are required in the fusions. That way, you know, if you're in the middle of a fusion, you want to make sure no matter what, you upgrade those 4 epics to level 40. You can do that, and then like I said, it's not going to automatically rank them up for you. You still have to do that manually, but at least this, you could make sure that you rank or level up your fusion champions. We're not going to do that for the sake of this video. We're just going to do a bunch of ones. So here's the champions that I selected. See right there, 3 selected champions. And you don't need to do all the max HP because it is going to take those to the max HP. Let's go back into set food. If you don't want to do all to max HP, what you need to do is level limit right here. You click use, and then you need to make sure that you set the levels that you want on your certain ranks. This is how I run it. I'm not saying that's the way you need to run it. I'm just saying that's how I run it. So if I were to do that, it would take my level 1 champion to level 9 before switching out to other champions. I don't really care for that because I'm only going to do one run just to kind of show you guys how it will switch out the champions and sell the gear. So we're going to go back into this. Remember, I already have the 3 level 1 champion, and I'm going to go ahead and hit start. And so if you're running one single champion to farm, you can come into the settings, and right here where it says use single farmer multi-level, that will just mean whoever's in the lead spot, that's your farmer, and it will not switch them out. I'm going to go ahead and do that because I don't want to run a run and waste more energy. So we're just going to hit start, and I'm going to show you guys my hand right here. Well, kind of, you can kind of see my hands. It's going to sell the gear, right? And then it's going to automatically take out those champions and put new ones in and hit start, right? So I'm going to go ahead and go back into here because I really don't need it to run another run. Now, if you right click on the stop button, and I didn't get a piece of gear here, but let's say you did, if you right click, it will still sell the gear and then it will stop the run. If you just left click it, it will just completely stop the run and you will have to sell the gear or look at it afterwards. Just keep that in mind. All the max HP would be like if you knew you had 5-star or 6-star champions in this, and all you wanted to do was run those to the max HP, you could just hit all the max HP, and then that would be it. Next to max HP, it would be whoever reaches the next max HP, and then it would stop. It would stop the run. Start time is pretty cool. I don't really use it often, but I guess one scenario could be that if you were if CBC starts at 3 o'clock in the morning your time and you wanted to go ahead and get a jump on that, what you would do is you would come over to whatever dungeons you would want to farm. Most people farm hard spider. I'm sorry, not hard dragon. Most people farm hard spider. You come into here and you leave it on this page, and this is not my team, so I'm not gonna start it. But you would select the start time, and then this is universal time. So 0 is flat midnight. As soon as 12 o'clock hits, that's midnight, and that is 0. And then obviously 1 would be 1 o'clock in the morning, 2, 3, 4, 5, so and so on. 12 would be noon, and then 13 would be 1, 14 would be 2, so on and so forth. That's how you use that as far as that goes. See, it tells you all this. So this would be 23 would be 11 o'clock at night, right before midnight. So that, just keep in mind, that's how you do that. So let's say you wanted to do 3 o'clock in the morning, you would do 3, and then you would hit check mark, and then it would set it for 3, and then you hit start. You have to leave it on this page until 3 o'clock in the morning. Once it starts, it'll run however many you want to run. So you would still need to put in the number of runs that you want to run. Unfortunately, you can't really do the event thing yet, unless the event has started. So you would just kind of have to calculate in your head, like, okay, most of the time it takes me about 50 runs to reach whatever, right? You could do 50, and it would start at 3 o'clock in the morning, and you would have a head start. So run indefinitely, that's pretty clear right there. It's just gonna run forever. Run effective resources, I've never really used that, because most of the time I'm either on a mission to complete a certain fragment event or summon event, or not summon event, dungeon divers or anything like that. There's certain events that I'm going to be shooting for and certain points that I'm going to be shooting for. So effective resources, like I said, I've never really used that. So if you've used it, comment down below. Let me know what exactly it does. I've just never used it. And then shutdown when finished, that just means whenever it's done running whatever you want to run, it'll just shut raid and the RSL helper down altogether. Auto refills will obviously use the free refills that you have first, and then it will use your gems. And if, let's say, you only want to do 15 refills, you just do max refills, you type in 15 right here, and then it will only use 15 refills. Keep in mind, it is going to use your free ones first. So if you're trying to count in your head how much gems it would use, make sure, let's say you just have 2 free refills, you would probably want to do 17 max refills just to make sure that you use a certain amount of gems that you want to use. Auto sell artifacts, that is a great thing. It just means that you're not going to wake up in the morning after farming overnight with 1,500 pieces of gear. Now, you do have to be careful. You have to have a sell file that you feel comfortable with on your account. This is my sell file that I use. I have it in the raid or the channel 77 Discord. You guys are more than welcome to use it. Just please, please, please understand, when you use this, you have to make sure yourself double check that you're not selling any gear that you don't want to sell. This is pretty strict. So this is the early in-game sell file that Sacred Panda released, and I just added a couple of rules and changed a couple of rules to fit more toward my account. So yeah, you guys are more than welcome to use it. Just keep in mind, double check, triple check before you hit that sell button. Make sure you're not selling any gear that you want to sell. Anyway, so you would have your sell file, right? And they would be in the document tab or wherever you save them. I save them in the document tab. It really doesn't matter as long as you save it and then you load it, and then it'll pull this up, and then you can load whatever you want. So once you have that sell file in and you hit and you check this auto sell artifact and you hit start or whatever, it will sell the artifacts as you farm whatever stage that you're farming. And as you guys could tell from that campaign run that I did, it sold the gear just like I wanted it to. So that was great. So now moving on to the next section is the event tracker. So this is where you can use this tool to pretty much be hands-free. You can set it to farm. Sorry, my chair was squeaking and it does that after I don't lift it up after a while. I guess not. Maybe it's still gonna squeak. Maybe I need some WD-40. Something. I don't know. Anyway, so let's say you wanted to do Sand Devil, you would click on Sand Devil, and then whatever rewards that you want, you would click on those rewards, and then basically you go to Sand Devil and you hit start, and it'll run however many runs that it needs to do in order to get whatever rewards that you selected. I'm not going to show that because that would take a lot of energy, but trust me, this is very, very useful. And it'll tell you what your current points are, what your target points are. And when you do it, it'll also display down here, down below, when you're running the runs, and it'll tell you and keep track of where you're at. Right here is just the missions and daily quests and weekly and monthly and advanced quests. It just helps you keep track of what you're doing. So like I need to come in here, summon 3 champion, increase the champion level 3 times in the tavern, fight in the arena 5 times, and so on and so forth. It just kind of helps you keep a clear path on making sure that you do your daily stuff. And then the tournament, well, not tournament, I'm sorry, this is the quest overview. For me, I am on Marius, so my next one would be, I don't think this is right because I've already done all of that. Yeah, this isn't tracking, but it's supposed to track because I've already got it all the way up to here. I need to do probably earn 1,500 mortal soulstone. But anyways, I've already completed those, so I'm not sure why it's not saying I haven't done that. Anyways, once this loads into your account, it will keep track of where you're at with your quest. And then Hydra class is very awesome. Kind of shows you where you're at. To me, this doesn't ever update on time. This is what I did last go around. So I did 388 million on normal, 100 million on hard, and 154 on nightmare. It just kind of keep track of the last Hydra class. And then while we're on Hydra, let's go ahead and talk about this yellow button. And let's go into Hydra real quick. Hydra, we'll just do normal and make sure my normal team is selected. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to save the run, and I'm not going to run the full amount. But anyway, you click on this yellow tab, and it pulls this up, right? Here's Iron Twin, here's Demon Lord, and, well, actually, I'm not sure what that is. That's Minotaur. Okay, I don't want that. I'm doing Hydra. So what we're going to do is I want to change it. Okay, so this is billion, and this is million. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do 100. Now let's do 300. 1, 2, 3,000. 1, 2, 3 million. I don't know. Hold on. 3, 1, 2, 3. They changed this up. It used to be very simple, and now I'm not sure what the heck this is. 300. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so data change not adopted to the helper. Nightmare. Okay, so this is okay. So this is million and this is billion. Okay, so now that I've seen that, I can go in here and take all that out. And I'm going to do 300 million. And then you hit apply and change is adopted to the helper. And then you hit start. And then basically what it's going to do is it's going to keep running Nightmare, or not Nightmare, it's going to keep running Hydra over and over and over and over again until it reaches the set damage that you told it to reach. I told it to reach 300 million, so obviously it would keep running until it reaches 300 million. And I am not going to make you guys watch a 300 million run. It takes about an hour and 20 minutes. So we are just going to go ahead and come into here and just hit stop and hit free regroup because I don't want to lose the key. Back out. So yeah, I'm sorry it took me a hot little minute. Like I said, they just updated it recently and they changed it. So this is million. If you want 300 million, 20 million, 36, so on and so forth, you just click that and you hit apply and then you just hit start and it will run Hydra until it reaches that set damage. So now let's come into the shard tracker. The shard tracker has been pretty much the same. It just keeps track of your shards. Let's say when you summon your shards while the helper is on, it will keep track of this number. But let's say you play both mobile and on computer and you summon 20 shards, or one shard, let's just do one shard. Then you can come in here and you can type in 20 and adjust it. I have not done so, so I am going to do 19 and keep it like that. So it will keep track of all your shards, what your last legendary was pulled, so on and so forth. And it's a very neat little tool to have, especially because it keeps track of what you have. And then here is just a bundle calculator and clan boss loot tracker. I really don't care for that because it really just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So to me, it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, I'm going to get what I get. And, I'm not keeping track. So accuracy versus resistance. Let's say you have 500 accuracy. You have a 97% chance to land. But you can also do vice versa. So let's say, Hydra has 350 accuracy and you have 500 resist. The Hydra has a 4.83% chance to land. But if you bump that up to 650, he's real close to pretty much never landing it other than your 3% built-in chance. And remember, this game has a 3% built-in chance, so even if you had 999 resist, it really doesn't matter because Raid thought it would be awesome to keep a 3% built-in chance to resist. So we're going to take all that off. Attack, defense, AP, let's just do 7,000, and then 300. That tells you about what kind of damage you're gonna do. It's just kind of weird. I mean, I don't really ever use that because it's not really gonna matter that much. I guess it could show you like, okay, let's say you have 7,500 attack and 280 crit damage. See dropping some crit damage and having some attack. Now, you can't necessarily use that. The best thing to use is the Hell Hades damage calculator because there's some champions that attack will scale better than crit damage and vice versa. So definitely use that rather than this. But it's still kind of neat to have just to kind of compare. And the bundle calculator, like I said, if you come in here and you click on a bundle, let's just do monthly pack. And it's not updating for me. Most of the time, when you click on something, it will update the bundle cost and it'll update what's in the bundle and it'll rate it and it'll tell you if it's good, very good, excellent, whatever. Kind of cool. I don't really spend much in the game anymore, so I wouldn't really ever use this, but it is a neat tool to have if you do plan on spending money. It can tell you if it is a good offer. Next up is right here where you have your inventory index, which is where I spend most of my time on the helper tool because it allows you to filter and sell what you want to sell. I've already sold these. Sometimes, for whatever reason, the helper tool will tell you that there's gear on your account, even though that gear is not there. And I will show you guys. I selected sell. We're going to hit add to select. And we're going to see here that it didn't select anything. That is because that gear no longer exists on my account. So, just to kind of explain, you still have to have the sell file, right? But let's say you don't want to sell gear, but you kind of want to see where your gear is at, right? Like let's say I wanted to upgrade gear, but I wanted to upgrade gear that double rolled into speed. You just come into here and you do substats, double rolls, and then you select speed, and there you go. Every single piece of gear on your account that is double rolled into speed, you can upgrade. Now, make sure you slide this down to below 16, because if you do 16, then it's going to give you gear that you can't really upgrade. But let's just do this, right? Let's say that piece of gear, whoa, I don't want to sell. Let's make sure we don't sell gear. We're going to come in here and I'm going to select that. And then we're going to do target level. And we're going to do 8 because we're upgrading it to 8. And you hit start. And I screwed up. Give me 1 second. Sometimes it gets a little buggy. So let's see. Clear, auto check. Okay. And let's try it again. We're going to hit start. All right, well, I will be right back. I am going to go ahead and restart this helper tool. And yeah, I will be right back. All right, guys, we are back. Let me drag the helper tool. I had to restart my computer. Sometimes, guys, the helper tool bugs out. Sometimes it doesn't want to load. Keep in mind, this is a free tool. So don't get too mad. So I always like to come in and do at least one campaign run. So that way the RSL helper can fully load and integrate my account. We're going to go ahead and sell that. And we're going to come back into champions because that's where we left off. And we're going to go back to here. And we're going to do substat, double roll. We're going to do speed. And again, we are trying to upgrade this one. So what you do is you select that specific piece of gear, you put in where you want it to upgrade to, and you hit start. Guys, I am not understanding. It's, hmm. Well, I hate to say this, but there might be a bug right now with the helper tool. Typically, this works for me. You select the gear that you want and you just hit start and you set it to the level that you want and it'll upgrade it for you. Just unfortunately, right now, it is not doing anything and I think that is a bug. I'm sorry, I keep getting texts. Um, but yeah, I don't know what to tell you. It's probably just a bug. They normally work these kinks out pretty quickly after an update. It just got updated, so let's just see. Let's reset filter and maybe we can correct it from here. Let's do not. And let's try to upgrade this. Let's see if that'll upgrade. Okay, yeah. See, nothing's happening. So, like I said, it's probably just a bug. Unfortunately, I was really hoping I could show you guys that. It really helps because you can go through and you can filter your gear and figure out which ones you want to upgrade and which ones you don't want to upgrade. Like I said, I would definitely slide it down to 15 and then upgrade those. Anything that you really want, if you're looking for more crit damage, this would be a perfect one. If you're looking for more speed, you can't really get more speed out of that, so I wouldn't really upgrade that. But yeah, you guys kind of get the gist of where we're going with that. And then the same thing with selling gear. You can come in here and you can slide it down to whatever you want, right? So let's say this piece, right? This is not a very good piece. I'm okay with selling that. I'm going to go ahead and select that, and let's slide it over here real quick. And then what you do is you select sell, and then let's drag this back over. And once you selected sell, what you do is you just hit add selected to sell list, and there we go. It's selected it, and then you click sell, and now it is no longer there. Well, that works. So let's see. Let's see if I can get a piece of gear to upgrade. Let's do 8, and let's hit start. No. Okay, so there must be a bug. I just wanted to try it one more time. The sell file seemed to work, but for whatever reason, trying to upgrade is not working. But yeah, that's how you sell stuff. So, let's see, what else? I don't want to sell that necessarily. I probably should though. And then, like I said, you come into here, you hit sell, and then you hit add selected item to sell, and it's bugging out again. Like I said, they just updated it, so there's tons of bugs and kinks they got to work out, and this will just be one of them. I think I've shown you guys everything that you can use with that. So let's go ahead and come into here. Let's hit cancel. And this is just a resource tab. It keeps track of all your resources and what you have. Sometimes this will bug out as well. One time it told me I had 9,999 legendary books. That would have been awesome. But I did not have that. So just keep in mind, guys, this is not a perfect tool. There are a lot of bugs in it. Sometimes you go to upgrade something and it doesn't upgrade. Sometimes you go to sell something and it doesn't sell. Just please keep in mind, it's not perfect. They will, after they update it, which they just updated it today. Sometimes it takes a couple of days to work out all the kinks. And I'm sure that's all it is. Because like I said, 99% of the time, it works perfectly fine. So here is your champion tab, and when you click on a champion, it'll do a little pop out window here in a second. There we go. And it just kind of gives you a pop out window of what you have, and you can do area selected. That's kind of cool. Skills just kind of shows you what their skills are and their multipliers. It's kind of cool to have. It's not necessarily great, but it does kind of help you with looking at your champion. And then settings, I mean, it is what it is. FPS, how long you wait on all your stuff. Yeah. So let's jump into the optimizer. And let's do this. Yes. Give me 1 second. It's coming up. And log in. Go. So now that it's logging in, and here's our stuff. Let's just go from the start. Live refresh. All that does is refreshes your account. I typically do that even if I have live refresh already activated. I just like to click that just to double check and make sure I refresh everything. Champions, obviously that pulls up all your champions. You can do Ascended, Awakened, book, partially booked, all of that. Lock priorities, the whole 9 yards. You can filter it by buffs or anything like that. You can do duplicates. I mean, that's all pretty self-explanatory. Let's show you guys how to do the actual build. So We're going to take Helicast, for example, because he really doesn't have that great of a build on him, and I don't really ever use him. We're going to hit Optimize, and let's just do Survival Mode. And what we're going to do is we're going to make him an Arena tank. And really, I want like 600 resist. So what I'm going to do is Survival Mode, come in here to Configure, because I don't want to steal any gear. And then we're going to go stats, and let's just say 230 is fine, 690 resist is fine, sets I don't care about, slots I don't necessarily care about, but I will come in and kind of give you guys a rundown on that. Same thing with this, and then you just hit start, and it will find the best build. And if it doesn't find a build, sometimes you went a little too strict on the stats. It did find my build. It's not a great build, but it did find found 700 resist. And there's the gear that I have. I'm not gonna do that. So let's jump into battle, and battle is more so for damage dealers. So let's go ahead and let's just build a damage dealer. Give me guys 1 second. Let's find somebody. I know who I wanted to do because I've been wanting to rebuild her. Anyways, let's do Rhonda. Rhonda, we're going to come in here and we're going to do damage mode. And typically, I like to run at least 220 on my speed. For damage dealer, speed I don't care about. Crit rate, we want 100%, and it's going to find everything else. Battle. So battle, you can do general, you can do waves, you can do Hydra, all that stuff. I'm just gonna do, let's do 4,000 defense and 80,000 HP. She's not a max HP nuker, so HP doesn't really matter on her. And I plan on having increased attacks, and I'm probably gonna go against champions that have increased defense. Possibly strengthen. So let's just do that for the sake of the video. And then we're going to come in here to stats. Again, we already have that. So slots. Slots are really nice because you can come in here and you can tell the optimizer that you are going to ascend certain pieces of gear to that level. So the gloves, I'm going to do crit damage as the ascension stat. I know for sure I'm going to do that. Chest piece, I'm going to do attack. And then boots, I'm going to do either speed or attack. I'll let it find its best build. And then for the banner, we're going to do attack. And then we're going to do crit damage. And then attack, 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 attack. So, and then sets, it's going to find the best set possible. And then glyphs. So this is pretty important. If you know for sure you're going to max glyph this champion, then I would go ahead and use it. If not, I wouldn't necessarily use it unless you're just saying, okay, I'm going to put 20 attack, I'm going to put 4 speed, and I'm going to put 4 attack percentage on every piece that will let me. And then you go and optimize and you hit start, and it's going to find the best build for you. So right off the bat, we are gaining 103% on that A2. We go to view list, it's giving me 6,000 attack as opposed to my 5,900, and quite a bit more crit damage. So we're going to click view, and it went with merciless and cruel. So that's pretty cool. Now you could obviously come in here and go into the glyphs, and I just want to max everything out, so I am going to max everything out. And let's come in here and let's see what kind of a better build that we can get. Let's see. So I was at 102%. Now I'm at 116%. And it went with merciless and cruel, but it went with different pieces just based on attack, crit damage, attack. Now, if I go to these pieces, you can see I have not gotten crit damage on this. So just keep that in mind. If you do this, in order to achieve these stats, you will have to max glyph and do all of that. Now, if you don't want any of that and you just want it to find the best possible build, you don't do any that and you don't do any of that. I don't mind it maxing it if I already have it. I'm not going to assume that I'm going to get something now. So we're going to go ahead and hit optimize and we're going to hit start, and it's going to drop pretty significantly. So yeah, we're only gaining 44%. We come into here and we drop a pretty penny on attack, but what we did was we switched out to merciless and cruel for ignoring defense. Um, so that's how you find the best damage build for a damage dealer. And the same thing would be defense. Like I said, I'm not really filtering attack. When I come into here, I'm not telling it I want to find a minimum attack. I'm letting it tell me what the best build is. And then another thing that I use the optimizer for is the artifact rating. You do have to pay for a membership for this. Even if it's a $5 a month membership, it will rate your gear for you. Now, you kind of have to use it at your discretion, I guess I should say. You still have to understand the game and still have to understand where your account is, and be able to kind of judge how this is rating your gear. So what I like to do is I like to do two things. I like to use it for gear cleansers and I like to use it for artifact enhancement. When I'm doing artifact enhancement, I slide the level down to 15 and I do godlike and legendary. Let's just do godlike. So I like to upgrade gear that's godlike, and I don't mind if it's equipped, but if this is your clan boss champion like mine, I don't want to upgrade this for the possibility I will get a speed tune. But this guy, I don't mind upgrading it and all of this. So you would just come into the game and you would find this specific piece. And this is not like the helper tool. It will not automatically upgrade it for you. You have to manually go find each and every piece and upgrade it. So that is pretty time consuming. Just keep that in mind. That's how I use it for the artifact enhancement. Now let's show you how I do a gear cleanse. I like to do very weak, and bin, and then let's just do not equip. And I would come in here and sell this. Now some of this gear that you're looking at, I wouldn't necessarily sell because I would re-roll it. For example, this, I would re-roll it for the possibility of getting a better main stat, but also getting a triple speed roll. That would be pretty incredible. Triple speed roll is always great. So I try to keep triples and quad roll gear just for the simple fact of re-rolling it. But I also don't do that on every single piece. Like accuracy, I'm not going to keep a triple roll just to keep a triple roll, because honestly, I don't really use accuracy that much. So I would go in and I would sell these pieces of gear. It is very time consuming, but it is a really neat tool to have, because you can come in here and you can say, okay, yeah, you're right. That is not a very good piece of gear. Let me go ahead and sell that. And it just makes it a little bit easier to find this gear so you can sell it. That's how I use it for the gear cleanse. And then when you do teams, you can do choose location, spirit, and it's just showing you your teams, which is pretty cool. Team optimizer. So this is where you find ideas and other teams. Let's just do Hydra rotation 1, doesn't matter. I want to do normal. I want to find team. And this is going to show me the best team possible. Now, you also have to keep in mind, sometimes, I don't know if they completely eliminated them, but there for a little while, there was the Infinity team, which I did a video on a long time ago, that did like billions of damage. That is no longer a very viable team. So you have to keep in mind on what team you're looking at, if it's even achievable anymore. So let's say this team, I wanted to build it. I would come in and do variation, and it shows you the speeds and all of that. And even furthermore, if you paid for the paid version, even if it's the $5 a month, you can click view team and it will tell you exactly what their stats are, what their gear is, what their ascension level is. It'll tell you what their book levels are, what their masteries are. It's a very neat tool to have. And if you, let's just go ahead and do this. If I wanted to, I could add to Team Optimizer, and it's going to add all of those champions to my Team Optimizer. And then you would just hit, where is it? Oh, we're already in it. Duh. So Arbiter, you'd come in here and you would do damage mode, because if we're doing Hydra, we're doing damage mode. If you don't want to rebuild Arbiter, you can just take that off of her. Then you come into Whisper, you're going to do damage mode, and then you're going to do configure. You don't want to steal any gear, so you're going to do that. Buffs, blah, blah, blah. You basically, it's like how we did it with the champion, but it shows the whole team and you can specifically do that. And then at the end of it, when you do optimize, you can get to choose who you want to optimize first. I like to optimize on Hydra. Me personally, I like to optimize my survival champs first to make sure that I'm going to live and I have a revive champ. So in this case, it would be Arbiter. We're not doing Arbiter, but if we were, we would put Arbiter at the top of the list. And then next up would probably be Lydia, because I want her to be the next person we build. And then next would probably be Archbishop. And then we're going to do Rule, and then Inquisitor, and then Whisper, and then you hit Start and Find, and it will find them in that order. The reason you have to make sure you're doing the correct order is to make sure that you're building your most important champions first, using the best gear for them. And then as it trickles down and you start using more and more of your gear, the less important champion you are using, not the worst gear, but you're using the second-hand gear, I should say, on those champions rather than the ones that you absolutely need built. And then you hit optimize and start, and it'll take anywhere from 1 to 20 minutes, depending on your internet. And then it'll show you the build, or it will tell you that it couldn't find the build. Manage account. This is pretty important. When you come into optimizer setting, it gives you the end game, mid game, late game, early game. You have to read this and kind of see where you're at. I am definitely end game, so I'm going to leave it on end game. Yeah, so I think that shows everything that I wanted to show. So I told you guys that I was going to show you how I use both of the tools together. And so this is what I typically do. I like to come in here and I do artifacts, right? And let's say this is the gear that I wanted. I could come in here and split screen, and we're going to do here. We're going to shrink it down a little bit, and we're going to go into gear. Oh, come on. Shrink it down. And there we go. So what I can do is, and for me, I have split screen. So I could come in over here and split screen it, and then, or not split screen. I have another screen. I could take this off screen. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to come into here, and I'm going to, see, you don't want to split screen. So I would full screen, and I would come in here, and I would find this gear. So we did triple resist. So what I could do is come into here and do triple resist, and I could select that, and then we could reset. We reset filter, but that also does that. So we do that. Now we can take that off, and it still has it selected. Even if we click on stuff that it's not in, it's still selected. And then basically you can go through here, select all of these in the optimizer tool, and you come into the game and you sell the gear, right? So I would come in here, I would click sell, and I would hit add to selected cell, and then it would put that in the sell thing. And I don't want to sell that just because, like I said, let's see, unless I've already reworked it, which I haven't reworked it, so I'm going to save that. But yeah, so that can make it very quick when you're combining the two on selling. But again, you have to make sure that you're selling the right gear. So I would come in here, select these in the optimizer, and then once I get everything selected and I'm okay with selling, you hit add selected to the sell list, and then you just click sell and sell it, and there you go. This is going to be a lot quicker than coming through here and going, okay, let's go find that, and then you sell that, and then let's go find that, and then you sell that, and then you just keep going back and forth. It's much easier if you can just work these two together, select everything that you want to sell, and then sell it all at once. Vice versa, same thing for upgrading. Let's say I wanted to come in here and I wanted to do godlike, and you would come into here and you would select these pieces of gear, and I would upgrade them. Let's just try one more time. So we got a double roll accuracy right here. So I'm going to do double roll accuracy. And what is that? Is that divine speed? That's divine speed. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to take that to 16. Is that the right one? No, it's not. So we're going to uncheck that. We're going to go in here and just do divine speed, which should be down here at the bottom, divine speed, and there it is. We're going to do that, and let's hope we can get it to upgrade. If not, like I said, it's probably just a bug. So we come in here, we selected that, we put 16. Oh, it's going to do it. Cool. So there we go. We got to upgrade it, and we triple rolled on accuracy. So that was very nice. That's how you can use that with the Hell Hades optimizer tool to upgrade your gear and do it pretty consistently and fast. So you're not just going through each one and upgrading stuff over and over and over again. Now that we fixed that, I can come in here and I can do, like I said, double roll, and let's do speed. And I don't want divine speed. So let's try this. I don't mind. Do we have any? No. Okay, so we don't. So let's go ahead and do Savage. I like that one. And I like that one. And that's it. And then I like that one. And I like that one. So let's do that. Then we're going to come into here again. I like to do this just in case, make sure every tab is open. And now we have 4 selected to 16, and we're going to hit start, and it's going to upgrade. Perfect. So as you can see, my hand right here, it's going to back out and upgrade the gear for me. I don't need all of those upgraded, so I'm going to go ahead and hit stop. But at least it worked finally in the video. Like I said, sometimes these things just bug out. Sometimes they do things that you don't want them to. Man, this is running at 26 minutes, an hour. I'm sorry, about an hour. So I'm going to have to edit all of this video. Let's just do a quick recap. I used the Hell Hades optimizer to come through here and build my champion. I showed you guys how to build champion. I used it to kind of filter through the gear that I have and help me rate the gear and help me understand the gear that I have. And then if I want to sell or upgrade, depending on how I set the artifact rating, I would just go find these pieces of gear in the helper tool. I would select them and I would put them to whatever I want to upgrade them to. And then you hit start and that would upgrade them, and you could do pretty quick upgrading on gear that is actually good. That way you're not just wasting silver. You're making sure that you're upgrading the gear that will actually impact your account. And then vice versa. Same thing when I'm selling account, I come into here week, very week, bin, and I would come to this gear and I would select it, and I would select it in the helper tool and I would sell it. Once you sell it, that will all go away, and you're making sure that you're selling gear that you I'm going blank, that you don't need on your account. So let's go back into the self setting, guys, like I said at the very beginning of the video, please make sure whatever cell file you are using, go through your account, double, triple, quad check. I don't care if you check 100 times. Please make sure that you're not gonna set your account back so far because you sold a bunch of gear that was actually good. It is very hard to recover from selling a bunch of good gear. So double check, triple check, quad check. Make sure that when you come in here, even if you're doing it like this, auto sell check, and you're gonna sell all of this gear, please make sure that you are looking at it and making sure that you're not gonna use this gear. Okay. With that being said, um, like I said, I do have this specific cell file in the channel 77 Discord. I have a whole bunch of other files too. And if you guys want help building your own file, come hang out in the 77 Discord. You can private message me, whatever, and I will sit down with you, have one-on-one time with you. I will screen share, and I will help build a cell file specifically for your account. That way you can progress and move forward. Typically, what I like to do is I try to build aggressive cell files, and I use the cell file for when you're farming gear, not necessarily when you're just trying to do a gear cleanse, because like I said, if it's aggressive, it could sell some of the gear that you might actually need on your account. But I always like the future in my mind as my goal. So I'm thinking, okay, I might not have this gear right now, but I want to farm for it and make sure that I am being very strict on my gear, progressing my account going towards the right location. You don't always have to do that. Sometimes I will help you build a cell file just to go through and do a gear cleanse. But like I said, the best thing, to be honest, is to work the Hell Hades optimizer and the helper tool and combine them and make sure that you're selling the right gear, upgrading the right gear, and doing it in a timely and fast, in a timely manner, and making sure that you're doing the correct thing. So, I think I recapped everything. I'm sure I missed a whole bunch of stuff. Like I said, guys, come hang out in channel 77 Discord. I will always help you guys build files. I will help you guys understand what I'm doing, all of that. I do a lot of screen shares and Discord in general. I do voice calls and I screen share. I help people one-on-one. I create YouTube videos when I do takeovers. I do a lot of takeovers in the background. Sometimes takeovers don't make my YouTube videos just because they're pretty straightforward. Somebody needed help with the dragon team. I'm not just going to make 100,000 takeover videos because I've done quite a bit of takeovers. But if it is interesting enough, or if I think that it's important enough, I will obviously do a free takeover as long as I can do a video. But like I said, come hang out, come ask questions. We will always help you. If you're not sure about if your gear that you're fixing to sell is worth keeping, or if you just need to go ahead and sell it, before you hit that sell button, just come and ask people that understand the game a little bit better before you hurt your account. But as always, guys, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope this video helped you all with doing gear cleanses, with understanding the helper tool, and all of that.